Next up, we have the topic role of leadership within diversity management. And of course, first I will show you the table of contents. So we begin with our introduction, then we have the definition, evolution of leadership traits in the research, key qualities of inclusive leaders, role of leaders in implementing diversity management, the challenges, and learning and accountability. So, first, of course, leadership is very central in the success of diversity management efforts because within a workforce team, of course, the leader is the one that drives the implementation of all the inclusive policies that are needed. Leaders who actively engage in diversity management foster collaboration and really help to help the team align with the efforts towards inclusivity. Here I have also a individual thought experiment. So really think about having a orchestra and being the conductor for it and having musicians from diverse backgrounds, all with very unique styles of playing. Think of an idea how you could harmonize their differences and create a very extraordinary performance. You may come back when you're done with this individual thought experiment and continue with this topic. Definitions. One definition we have really focuses more on the company culture. It's that leadership is about articulating visions, embodying values, and creating their environment within which things can be accomplished. So it's more about really having consistent action and communication, where leaders can then foster behaviors like inclusivity, collaboration, and innovation, setting the tone for a positive and productive workplace. And then also, Northouse describes leadership as the process whereby an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal. Think of your individual thought experiments. So it's here the definition is more interactive and really focused on the goal and on the dynamic relationship that you have between a leader and the group. Really emphasizing more the collaboration and not really the hierarchy because you're all after a common goal. So, of course, you may ask, what traits does a leader have? What traits make a leader good and inclusive and good within diversity management? So, first, I would like to show you some very interesting research and an evolution of that. So, people have been researching this for a very long time. And in the 1940s to the 1960s, I thought it was very interesting that a lot of the traits that make good leader or leadership were very gendered. So it was a lot like masculinity, dominance, extroversion, which are typically more brought into connection with men. Then we have the mid evolution, where it finally began to be more into collaboration, which is now very important. And then also the more modern research on leadership, which reflects the growing recognition of diverse leadership styles, really moving away from traditionally male dominated frameworks. You may pause and really read through all those different um, uh, leadership traits that are listed in the figure on the or in the table on the right. So, what are the key qualities of inclusive leaders? So, first, inclusive leaders are willing to learn from others. They're not driven by egos or they think that's right because they said so. They're also always seeking diverse perspectives. They're open for different viewpoints. They create opportunities for growth, especially for females. This is very, very important. I will explain that later on. They're also really acting as allies and advocate for personal growth in organized groups. And they also are very collaborative, so they drive innovation through encouraging collaboration and fostering very mutual respect. What is really the role of a leader in implementing diversity management? So, first, of course, leaders align strategic goals with their initiatives within their little teams. So, it's really important that those strategic goals are already discussed with diversity management, so it can really be formed in the little teams as well. They, of course, set an example. If they do not model inclusive behaviors, then they just set the tone for the whole group not doing it. Of course, they also create psychological safety, therefore influencing the company culture or the team culture. And they do secure the flow. So effective leaders balance the long-term strategic goals with the fast-paced changes within an organization, which really ensures flexibility while keeping those diverse approaches in mind. What are the challenges that modern leaders are faced? So, of course, um, all those shifting societal norms and workforce expectations really make a pressure on leaders to adapt and learn. So, leaders must possess emotional intelligence, which is a very, very important point that I will come back to later on as well, to address diverse emotional needs and resolve tensions. So that's a really a challenge for a couple of people, of course, because it's not something that you really necessarily learn in school. It's something that you have to actively engage in. And of course, in the fast paced nature with social media, with TikTok, with everything else, everything is so quickly, all markets and market demands change so quickly, as well as workplace demands. So they have to quickly align and change those behaviors to really align with these social expectations. Learning and accountability, very important for a leader and very important for the role of a leader. So I have here continuous learning, accountability, and monitoring sustaining diversity efforts. So first, of course, regular training programs is very important to keep diversity as a ongoing topic, but also being accountable, having evaluations and feedback loops will help those kind of like challenges that leaders face, to overcome those. And of course, tools such as diversity audits, performance metrics, and as I said, employee feedback systems are very helpful in tracking how good a company is standing, how far they've come within diversity management, and it really helps to avoid superficial approaches and only just saying on the paper that we're diverse, but really being it at the core as well. So, the role of leaders, of course, are also to ensure that learning and accountability is provided within their teams. What have we learned? As I said, leadership is a cornerstone for diversity management. Effective leaders foster trust, collaboration, psychological safety. They have sustained learning, accountability, proactive evaluation, excuse me, which really helps to ensure that all the diversity efforts are translated into meaningful outcomes. And by adapting all those different social norms and acting accordingly upon them, leaders can navigate challenges and leverage diversity as a strategic advantage. Next up, we have an online test for this topic, so feel free to go through everything again and then try the online test to check how far and how much you've learned about the role of leaders. See you in the next chapter.